powerful new force is about to hit this city.
From the dark side of the moon, this is the Cosmos Radio Network.
Welcome once again to the Biz Breaks Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin the Credit Crusher. My co-host, Nykeia Neal, the financial expert, is not going to be with us today. That is perfectly fine. I'm going to do my very best to fill in her unfillable shoes. But we're going to be talking to one of our good friends and somebody we've worked with in the past and love working with, Cory Cottingham from the Melanin market. So we'll talk to him in just a second. Welcome to the Biz Breaks Podcast here on the Cosmos Radio Network USA, where we have real talk with real entrepreneurs. So Cory Cottingham,
yes, sir.
Melanin Market. Tell us who you are. Not. We'll get into the Melanin Market conversation in just a few, but tell us who Cory is as a person and an entrepreneur.
Well, Kevin, I want to thank you for this opportunity to be on your platform. As well, appreciative. I definitely support the work that you and Sister Nykeia continues to do. It's a unprecedented work in which, trying to help our people and families get in order, because if they get that credit out of order, they could be missing out on so much and so many opportunities. So that being said, brother, I'm a humble brother. A lot of people who know me know that I do wear many hats. I'm a husband, a father, entrepreneur, community activist, and I just strive to be a better person for myself. Try to be a better person for my family, and a better individual in the community. I'm very non-complacent. I'm never comfortable. I'm not there yet. So when I see these enterprises being built, maybe I'll tone it down a notch. But until then, we're going to work.
So Cory, you said you wear many hats. I have to say, my experience of you wear all of them very well. They are perfectly fitted for you, and your humility is unmeasured. Like I said, we've worked together several times, and I have always known you to be a very humble individual, but very driven, and you are getting things done. The stuff that people talk about when you say our community. So this is the thing that I'm unapologetic about here on the Biz Breaks Podcast, and anywhere that I'm talking. When I say our community, I'm talking the Black community, right?
Come on.
The Asian community, they have their advocates. The Latino and Latina community, they have their advocates, and we certainly don't discriminate. The white community as well, we don't discriminate here. But my passion, like yours, is for the Black community. And so when we say community, I want people to be very clear. We're talking about the Black community as a whole. So I am unapologetic. I can tell that you're unapologetic about being a community activist, particularly our community, the Black community.
Yes, sir.
So Cory, where does this passion come from? And I'm still talking to Cory the person, not Cory the hat. Right? Where did this passion for the Black community come from?
I'll be honest with you. Just like so many of our people, I definitely got my share of troubles. I've had my battles and trials in which I had to overcome. Just on a mental health thing. A lot of us as Black individuals, we don't talk about our mental health. We don't talk about our trauma and our obstacles that we have to come up that we have to get by, and it sometimes affects us. So when I started to about 8 years ago get into my journey, I went to the Justice or Else Million Man March 2015 in DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blown away, brother. I just saw what I thought would be the normal in reference to our people and the civility, the civilization, everybody being kind to one another, excuse me, mannerful. And it really blew me away. I have not been right since. And one of the comments that was made in that lecture that day that has been like a stample into me personally is when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had mentioned, around that time you had the Trayvon Martin, you had the Mike Brown situation.
Yeah.
And, our communities were very upset. And the minister has said, well, if Black life don't matter, then neither does Black money. And that point had like resonated into me of, something that I personally had a drive for, one of my lanes. And I'm like, man, economics. I'm from Willingboro, New Jersey. And if you're people who watch this broadcast are not familiar with Willingboro, Willingboro is a unique neighborhood being a Black suburb. So, it's a Black suburb in which, the total house value, total income for a household is between $60,000 to $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about 2/3, I think, double that national average of Black income, which is around 35. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know actual numbers, but I know it's around 30,000 total household. So we economically here in Willingboro, our most two household incomes, you see a lot of Black people, 70% Black, who are doing well. Yet and still, we do have our share of problems as well as any other community. But when I was down in Washington D.C., I said, man, me being from Willingboro and me going down there, being down there, had kind of drive me to want to take this message, build these economies, build with these Black businesses, build with these creditors, and see what we can do to turn these numbers around, in which I believe the number is now officially 3% of Black businesses are supported by Black people. So 97% of our money is extracted out of our Black community. That is like a state of emergency.
Sure.
So what can we do about that? What is the major issue now? We know when you mention the Asian communities and you mention the Latino communities, they have more culture, they have more identity than we do. So we know we have some other internal problems. But as we begin to grow and as we begin to really, I want to say, do great things in this time. And as you know, culturally and physically, we are dominant people on this planet. Yet and still, we still have that problems, some of those problems with the household income and just the standard of living and, incarceration rates. What can we do in our time to explode those numbers and create millionaires and create wealth and generational wealth inside of our community?
Cory, do you think, realistically speaking, I know you're an optimist, I'm an optimist. Do you think that we can put a dent in this humongous issue that we have? So before you answer that question, right? There are several issues that we have in the country, right? There's the social justice piece, right? There's the health piece. There's the economic piece, right? There's the political piece, right? There are many pieces to this puzzle that we have to shore up, right? So
Yes,
you and I are addressing life from the economic piece because we can't do everything, right?
correct.
We wish we could, but we can't. We have to take on a cause, right? So you have focused your attention on the economic component of the issues that exist in the Black community, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
do you think with all of the systems that are in place to disenfranchise us, disadvantage us, do you think that in your lifetime we can put a dent in the problems and start to fix them in a manner that makes an impact that's noticeable?
I absolutely do, Kevin. I believe that, what I see, as you know, the melanin market just passed this last weekend. I see so much of the positive that, I cannot see it any other way but up. And one of the things too, we can't get any worse.
That's right.
So
Right.
us not being able to get any worse, we can only go see a rise or see
Yeah.
to an increase in these percentages. And I see a climate of young folk out there who are looking for guidance and looking for brothers and sisters to look up to, yet and still, we have indifferences amongst us. So I believe in this hour, we are in a very critical hour, to your comment, in which like minds need to kind of come together, build with one another, and then start to show and prove. And I do believe we will get the outcome that we are much looking for. And it starts with a few, but the work is many, but a few of us can start to create this wave. And I see it. I see it with the young entrepreneurs. I see it with my partner, Lamar Wees, who's a 30-year-old Black man, and he brings with him all these young, unapologetically Black business owners who are in his 20s and 30s. And, Kevin, Obama, the Obama generation that just passed, in which we saw a Black president, that did a psychological thing for our community that we have to go and reap the benefits for.
Mm-hmm.
We have a young generation out there who feel like they can do it all. Where me and you grew up, we never thought we would ever see a Black president.
Sure. Yeah.
Our kids and our nephews and nieces and stuff like that saw that. That's the new norm. So if we start to educate them, if we start to put our side of our differences and we start to create that, man, we're going to see revolution in our community that we've never seen before. And it'll have that 60s energy. It'll have that post-slavery energy when we created 60 Black Wall Streets. It's this is the hour. And I do believe we're going to see that in our lifetime, brother.
Yep. So I asked the question only because it's like I said, you and I are very optimistic, right? We don't stop the fight. I believe that we can certainly make a difference. There are people out there, though, that won't get into the fight because they fear that the fight will yield no results, right? Or certainly not something that they can quantify, right? But I think that's no reason not to get into a fight. I think you just get into a fight, right? Whether you lose or not, you get in.
Come
right?
on.
Because the only way to, and I hate to put it, let me put it in sports terms, right? The only way to win a game is to get into the game, right? You got to get into the game. You can't win it if you don't play it, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I appreciate you saying that, you think we can make a difference, and I want the audience to know that there are people like you who are out fighting, people like Maurice. Thank you for bringing him up, because this is not an old fight. This is not a new fight. It is a combination, right? We got to bring the wisdom of people with experience together with the energy of people who are just entering into the game and encountering issues. So that collaboration that you have with Mar is amazing. And I'm going to segue the conversation into why you're on here and talk about the melanin market. I just want to tell you, though, I truly appreciate the growth of the melanin market. And so, and again, I'm going to let you explain what that is. But I was in attendance, right? I participated in the melanin market 3 years ago. And I watched it on Saturday. I participated again on Saturday. And I have to say, it has grown at least 3 times. It's 3 times the size of what it was when I recall it from, 3 years ago. So tell our audience what the melanin market is, how it came to be. And Cory, I want you to talk from your experience of it, not hey, we're on here interviewing the melanin market. talk from Cory Cottingham, how this thing came to fruition.
Yes, sir. So the first business expo I put on in 2016, going into 2017, and it was called Unity in Business. And it was basically, we had around 30 Black businesses, and we brought them into the gym, and we're trying to circulate that dollar amongst the businesses, right? The turnout wasn't what I liked. 30 businesses, a few hundred people. I said, man, I don't like it. We got to do better. I went to a community event that was taking place in Wellingborough at the park, in which I saw thousands of people having a good time, picnic, barbecue atmosphere. But I said, man, if we can take that crowd, younger crowd too, and mix it into the business crowd, now we're winning. Mm-hmm. So I got on the phone and I called Marwees, known as Marwees, the other co-founder of the market. And I said, man, listen, brother, because he was one of the organizers of the event. Okay. I said, brother, that was a phenomenal event. I believe there was some drama there, So, my brother was a little bit down as well because of that, going so hard, having a good turnout, and foolishness happens. Mm. And we're on the phone, we conversating, and I'm saying, Mar, man, that's you just work hard, man. Don't let that down. Don't let your spirit get down. The way you marketed that was phenomenal. Brother, what do you think about this Black business and what we're doing with the Unity in Business? And Mar was basically on it. He was from the door, like, well, brother, how was it marketed? And I didn't really know about it, and the name and stuff. So he's asking me questions, but he loved the concept. He said, man, Black business is cool. I know like 100. So we started building, and we basically like, listen, man, let's combine efforts and do this thing. He was with it. He then got on the phone and called Arrington, the third co-founder. Mm-hmm. Now, all three of us are in the mix, and we're conversating. The first thing we did was change the name, and which it went from Unity in Business to the Melanin market. After that, a whole new game plan was laid out. The Arrington, who represents Morehouse College, represents the brand, the look. He brings, that eloquency that we need to bring to all of our projects. All business owners need that. Mm-hmm. Mar is the street promoter. He's got a long history with doing clubs in Philadelphia, on the radio stations, New York, traveling with different rappers and all that stuff. So he brings that energy. And then me, I'm kind of like the purpose. So now it also took me to humble myself, because Mar was saying, you wanted to change the name. And I'm like, we got to change the name. There's certain things that I had to submit just to see a bigger picture. And I believe that this also, on their end, to bring purpose into it, there's certain things that they had to agree upon. I didn't want to bring the alcohol and certain party atmosphere to the Melanin market. I wanted to be about the money and the business and the off focus. So we were able to come together on that project. What are our differences? I'm a striving Muslim. Those are two brothers who are Christian. That didn't matter. We all melanin, we all Black, and in our communities, it's all Black. We represent different schools of thoughts and different political views and different, just so much differences. But the overall goal is the number. 3% of our money stays in our community. We want change, and we went to work.
Cory, that is such a fascinating story, because I met both of them. Right? I met Arrington. I met Mar. You have some years on them, if I'm not mistaken, right? In age.
Yes, sir.
So how did you say? What made you say, look, these two younger brothers. I'm gonna because I believe Mar and Anderson are around the same age, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What made you say, look, I'm gonna combine my purpose and my experience with this youthful energy? What made you choose to do that? Because I'm asking the question, right? Because I'm looking in entertainment, right? Because I'm in. Listen, I'm black, right? I'm black, and I've been black. I love rap music, right? Admittedly, I don't get into the music like other people, but I watch interviews with on like the Breakfast Club and other platforms, and the old people are hanging on to the days of yesterday, and the young people are disregarding and disrespecting where they came from, right? And so there's a challenge in the hip hop community to bring those two worlds together, right? You have decided to do it in the business community. And so what made you decide to do that? Because you got to humble yourself at some point to be able to pull that off, right?
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And going to that party, I see 1,000 people out in a park partying. The music DJ, that atmosphere.
Right.
What if we got that atmosphere with purpose? Not to say that's not purpose. What if we got that energy, that crowd engaged into business? And that's what I saw, and my brothers was with it. So it also was a learning curve, to your point, with me, because I humbled myself. I remember the first thing that I didn't want to do is change the name. I didn't want to change the name. It's Unity in Business. But, I had to see that, man, these guys are gifted into this, and there's a lesson coming through them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that youthful energy. Hey, man, but we want to make it hip so our crowd comes. Okay. Yes, let's do it. So
Dude, that was a great pivot. Unity of Business works, but the Melanin market is sounding good. And you can tell the results, the proof is in the pudding, right?
yes, sir.
Do people even use that phrase anymore? That's such an old phrase. The proof is in the pudding. Right. So tell the audience then what the Melanin market is.
Melanin Market is a expo, a market. It's experience. It's everything. Neo Soul vibe. We bring the businesses together. Our objective is to circulate the money. Our objective is for vendors to do well. We are not interested in taking vendor money. This is not a pop-up shop. We want to take our black businesses and put them out there so they can win and have an opportunity to win. So you come to the market, you're gonna hear a little bit of singing. You're gonna see our youth. You're gonna see all levels of the community. We've had drill teams at our event. We've had different spoken words at our event. We bring that because it brings people to feeling well. It also gets them into the mood to spending. And, as we build the platform up, we just want to continue to inspire new businesses to give them an opportunity to see where they're at. We have so many testimonials. And I know one because it's a business partner of mine, because I'm bringing two businesses in one to Willingboro community, God willing, next month. And my business partner, a brick and mortar, my business partner went to one of them previous Melanin markets with his desserts, and he used it as an opportunity to see and test his product. He did well. He got it out there. Now he's inspired. And we're business partners, and we bought a building, and we're about to open a 2-for-1 business, and that's a whole nother thing that I got going on. But the Melanin Market is a platform for businesses to test their product, to come out there. It's also an opportunity for older businesses to kind of come down and share their knowledge and we've had businesses kind of connect, because you have that atmosphere.
Mhm.
It's not too serious. It's not too that. It's cool. We're making it cool to shop with your own.
Yeah. It's oh my God. I don't want to take over this conversation. Again, it's not an interview, it's a conversation. I don't want to take over the conversation, but my experience has been down the market. Every time I've been out, just it's such a delight to see, because you can see the collab, you can see the work that you guys put in, and the commitment and the real passion. That's what really comes through, is the real passion. So, Cory, really quickly, you talked about two things that I want to go back to. The first thing you talked about was, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but you talked about the city of Willingboro, New Jersey, which is a jewel in itself, right? People don't recognize. So Willingboro, New Jersey, and I happen to have a cousin that lives there, because of a cousin that lives there. So Willingboro, New Jersey has a rich African American history, and is a upper middle class city or town in New Jersey. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, sir.
That's an amazing thing. So we are seeing a lot less of those, but it's just a testament that, if you're looking to, anybody in our audience who's looking to move, and they're really looking to put their money where their mouth is. If you're Black, you're looking, you are looking to move to a neighborhood that supports you, and has done so for some time. Willingboro, New Jersey is a jewel, right, in the middle of New Jersey, which has some of the greatest neighborhoods in the world, right?
Yeah,
So,
yes, sir. And Willingboro, which had that Black influx in the late 70s and 80s, the history was it was a white-owned neighborhood. I think Levitt, he was credited for the first suburbs, in which it was he wanted the doctors and everybody in the community and all the businesses to live in the community. There's some history in that. Please, if you get a chance, look it up.
sure.
It was never made for Black people. When the first pioneers who came into the community, they had to go and take it all the way to the Supreme Court to basically, get approval to start moving in here. When we moved in here, they moved out. But what was left was this uniqueness in which I'm a second generation. My parents and all of them who moved here represented a time where you have Black people from all over the East Coast, from Delaware to Connecticut to New York to Pennsylvania. If they got their economics or they had their credit and got themselves in some, in a situation, they moved to a Black community as Willingboro. And we have people from Newark to Philadelphia to Camden. We representative of that. And if you talk and engage to the different people out here, when they first came in the 80s, nobody even said they were from Willingboro. Like, I'm from North Philly, I'm from East Camden. Everybody was representing what they was from.
Right.
But we kind of now I'm represent that second generation in which I've spent most of my life here. And we are now trying to engage it and take it up a notch. Because if our parents' generation in that 80s moved out here, the fight's not over here. We have to take this thing up to a notch, because at the end of the day, we want to pour back into the cities where we come from with this knowledge. We want to go back into North Philly. We want to go back into East Camden and say, listen, man, we got it going on out here. And this is how we did it. And this is where programs like yourself, who share the knowledge of credit, who share the knowledge of how to save your money. And this is what we striving to do. But just as much as any community, we have our differences and our problems and our issues, because Black people might think they can move outside the community with their problems, but we still face the problems. And one of the credits in the situation too, we don't also know the importance of that, because it's like our parents' generation were trendsetters, but my generation, I don't know. I think we were a little delayed, where, our parents didn't really teach us credit. They didn't really teach us how they got here.
Right.
So now we learn, we go to school and we're in school, but we all know school's not giving us the tools to show that. So mom and dad moved here, but did they teach us credit?
Right.
Did they teach us equity?
Right. And so it's up to us to pass that knowledge on. And so I'm saying to my people, I got a lot of people who are working to buy houses, and I'm saying, let's fix your credit, but not so that you can buy a house in a neighborhood where they don't want you. Right? You're fighting to get into a place that they don't want you. You can come to Willenburg where they embrace you with open arms. Right? So that's good. Yeah. So Cory, you talked about unity in business and it having 30 businesses. Listen, that's a formidable number, right? 30 vendors, 30 businesses represents a pretty good economic an economic swing. But have you tracked? Because like I said, I would swear that what the event that I attended on Saturday and the event that I attended 3 years ago was there were 3 times as many vendors on this Saturday. But have you tracked the metrics of the amount of vendors that you had recently compared to last year's or last time's numbers? And then the amount of revenue that was passed through those businesses. Are you watching? Are you measuring those things?
We do, and I got to make my partner Arrington proud because he is definitely one who pays attention to that. I think this last one we definitely crushed it with our testimonies and what we're hearing. We're estimating that at least, I would say, over $60,000 to $70,000 was circulated that day. We had 117 businesses, and we probably could have had more, but because it's COVID season, we didn't want to jam pack it. We had about 60 or 70 businesses that we could not get in there. So there was a want to be there, and we basically had to stop businesses from coming. In the past, I know one of our first ones we did about 30,000. So within a few years, we have doubled the circulation money from business to business, and that's what we're about. We got businesses who are making more money than we are as the organizers, and we're not mad at that. So we want to continue to create opportunities for businesses to make money, businesses to get out there, and us to continue to circulate that dollar and break these numbers that are horrific.
And what's really great about that and notable is that you made 60,000 in a day, but you don't know what kind of residual income you made for a company that was in attendance, right? I know that there was a young lady who is from Willenburg. She started making custom cinnamon buns, and then she's since moved her operation out to Houston. I believe it's Houston, Texas, right? But she was in attendance. She came back home. Was at the event, right? These cinnamon buns were incredible. I know myself and Nykeia ordered, so we got her information and we ordered some cinnamon. We bought some there and then we ordered some. So I gotta say, that's the real rubber meets the road kind of work that we need to do in the community, right? We are showing that we can support one another, that we can make a huge impact, and that impact can transcend geographical boundaries and time, right? We know that there may be some residual money coming from that. Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Before we go any further in the conversation, Cory, I just wanted to take a short commercial break. So we are this Biz Breaks Podcast is, as always, sponsored by my company, Premisien Credit Counseling. We're helping people with personal and business credit. Want to make an appeal to anybody, any credit repair or credit counseling agency, whether business or personal. If you are looking to move your business onto a platform that can support you, give us a call at Premisien Credit Counseling. We're looking to make some acquisitions or some joint ventures. We are unique. We are the nation's only Black-owned, Black-operated credit counseling franchise in the nation. And so we're looking to do some partnerships. So if you know anybody or you are someone that owns a credit repair, a business credit counseling agency, and you're saying, look, I want a platform that I can use to service my business, give us a call. We're at 215-904-8690. You can reach us on the web at Premisien.com. The name is spelled Premisien. And of course, you can email us at info@premisien.com. So good stuff. That's good stuff. So, Cory, we're talking to the reason that I wanted to do this Biz Breaks podcast was I know that entrepreneurs, particularly Black entrepreneurs, deal with a lot of challenges in their businesses, and so I wanted to have real conversations with entrepreneurs. But I also wanted the entrepreneurs to be able to give some tips. I don't know, is that me? Can you hear that clicking? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I thought. So there are entrepreneurs that may need a tip to help them move through their business. So can you give a tip off the top of your head, just a tip that you can think of that would help an entrepreneur move their business forward, or certainly if you're a Black business, certainly help a Black business do more business? Or if they're organizers such as yourself, a tip to help some other organizers who are doing stuff similar.
Presentation. I'm just presentation of your business, making sure it's presented in a way that's clearly representative of what you're striving to sell, or whatever business that you're involved with, as well as optimal viewpoints outside yourself. Sometimes the marketing and what we do, we think we can do it. Make sure you have a second or third eye onto, your product, your whatever your business is, and make sure that it's representative of what it's supposed to be. Don't just slap a flyer together and think, expect people to come and support your business. Put some time and some value, and I would say invest at least 10 to 15% of your overall budget back into your marketing. Everybody knows Nike. Nike is $1 billion company, yet and still they still dump billions of dollars into their marketing. Why is that? They know the fact of, I got to spend money to make money. And don't try to cheat yourself by doing things in an inexpensive way, or a little way, or a quick way to broadcast your product out there. Invest in it. You need to spend money to make money. Great
tip. All right, so I'm going to give a credit tip here, and I'm going to stay in line with some stuff that I've been talking about recently on my social media pages and through email with people, and that is your credit reports. So it's very important on the personal side and on the business side to get a clear picture of what is on your credit report. And I would tell you that if you are having trouble deciphering what the information on your credit report is, get with a professional who knows how to read credit reports. Not promoting. I'm always shamelessly plugging my company because we take pride in the work that we do. You don't have to get with us. It would only make sense that you do. But if you don't get with us, get with a professional or someone who's well versed in understanding what's on your credit report. And really, the thing that I talk about, Cory, is the data points. Most people get caught up in the scores. I tell people, as the river rises, so do the boats. If you fix the issues, the data points on your credit report, your scores can only go up. But you need to know how to decipher what those issues are, what those data points are, and you need to talk to somebody who's well versed in each one of those to make sure that your credit profile looks great, and then your score will go up accordingly. That's a
Good point.
good stuff. So Cory, we like to tell a story. We like these are conversations, right? And we like to tell stories here. And Nykeia is really great at the spinning the web of stories of experiences that she's had with clients, right? I want you to tell a story about somebody who was engaged with the melanin market in whatever capacity you want that illustrates the power of the melanin market and why somebody would want to be involved in it.
Yeah, so I just go into my business partner a little bit more in depth with it. My business partner now, next month, we'll be opening up a brick and mortar in Willingboro. And it's going to be two businesses in one. On one side, it's going to be a dessert business. On the other side, it's going to be soup, sandwiches, and salads. My business partner was directly inspired by the melanin market, in which when he was participated, he knew that he can take this to another level. So being a part of and jumping out the roof, because he did never thought that he would get involved with that, but he knew he can cook, he could do desserts, and going out there and stepping out on faith and getting involved in that melanin market has now jump started our brother to take it to another level. And we are excited to be bringing a new business to our community because of the melanin market. Me being in the melanin market, I'm gonna keep it personal with that. I'm striving as much as possible to do for self. So do for self, and meaning that I want to be working and spending my time to optimal level. And I can't always do that when I'm working and building out other people's empire. I've been a union carpenter by trade for a long time. Now, Kevin, you're from Philadelphia, correct?
I live in Philadelphia, from New York, but I live in
Oh,
Philadelphia.
okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
New York, yeah.
Being a carpenter, which is a very, very racist atmosphere, been a part of building buildings, skyscrapers, and just beautiful buildings that I never set my foot back in.
Mm.
Come in there and get paid to work for 30 years and build somebody else's heaven. That's no longer going to happen. So the melanin market has inspired me by being around all these businesses that I must build and must be a part of building our own legacy, our own empires.
Sure. That's awesome. So, and really quickly, can you tell us the name of the new business and the address, or is it legally not? Is it too early to disclose that information?
No, you can definitely follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Chakra Soups. That's SHOKRA, and Supreme Desserts, coming to 621 Beverly Rancocas Road in Willingboro, New Jersey. It's a 2-for-1 business. Basically, you can come in the building, and on one side will be the desserts, salads, and sandwiches, and the other side will be the desserts. We'll have healthy desserts. We'll also have healthy options on both ends. You can get to access to both businesses through a hallway that connects the businesses inside of it. And economically, we are able to cut our overhead in half because we're pulling our resources together with like minds and bringing a 2-for-1 with a shared kitchen. So,
I mean, that is the quintessential joint venture collaboration, what the melanin market is all about, in my opinion. 621 Beverly Rancocas Road. Is that there's a complex? It has several businesses.
yes, sir.
I think
we bought the business. We bought the building. We're not renting.
Listen, yeah. No, I'm not. No. I'm not going to let you just skip past that. No. We're going to applaud that. Cory.
Yes,
we
sir.
bought the building. You better talk tough. You better talk nice, Cory.
I know. And if Lance is here, one of the others, he don't hold back. Yeah, we bought the building. We're proud of that. We went after that, and all because of us turning our location and adding the kitchen and adding and upgrading the amenities, in which we're presently doing, because the value of it is going to double to triple, and building all that equity. So it's so much bigger than just this opportunity of renting. But when you add value to the place in which you purchase, you now have equity,
Yeah.
and it'll give us opportunity as business owners to invest more.
Dude, that is awesome. I applaud you guys. We're doing soups, we're doing desserts, we're doing real estate, we're doing it all. 621 Beverly Rancocas Road. The name is Chakra Soups, spelled Shokra Soups, and Supreme Desserts, spelled exactly as you believe. 621 Beverly Rancocas Road, Willingboro, New Jersey, Suite 2C. Thank you, Ada X, for chiming in and giving us the information. We truly appreciate that. So that's awesome. That is an amazing thing. Congratulations. Hats off to you guys. I applaud you. And I certainly am going to be over. I have a huge sweet tooth, so I got to come over.
Come on.
Do me a favor, if you could just put in a word for me, non-dairy vegan desserts. If you could look out, one or two. That's all I ask. Non-dairy vegan.
That's their specialty. So the vegan desserts is coming. And at the Melanin Market, they were there with their vegan banana pudding, their vegan desserts. There's a whole line of non-dairy items that's going to be there on both sides. I have the soups that's going to be non-dairy, and the chakra soups will be 80% flexitarian, meaning that it'll have a little bit of everything, but the bulk of it will be vegan options, vegetarian options, and we'll still have a little bit of chicken noodle soup and some of that, but that's not the bulk. We want to start to eat better and live better and enjoy this wealth that our brother Kevin and Nykeia is helping us save.
Yo, I'm in the building. So, Cory, we have a segment on the show we like to do. We call it the Fast Four. We're going to ask you 4 questions. We want you to answer quickly, succinctly, because it helps our viewers understand what resources are out there. Ready?
Come on.
Question number 1. Book that has had a great impact on your personal or professional career.
Niggas to Gods.
Say it again.
Niggas to Gods.
Niggas to Gods. I like it. Never heard of it. Niggas to Gods. All right, I'm going to look it up. Niggas to Gods. Got it. Cory, give me a tool or a resource that has been very helpful for your business.
The Burlington County Freeholders has been a valuable asset. We were able to get a non-interest loan to spearhead the business because of our credit situation.
Well, when you hear credit, when you say the word credit, it's like singing. It's like music in my head. Non-interest, no interest.
Yes, sir.
That's good credit right there. So you gotta have good credit. All right, good stuff. Give me a challenge that you've had to overcome, either personally or professionally or both, and how you overcame that challenge.
I had definitely a personal with alcohol. So I've been sober for about 7 years, and that was definitely a trial in my life. And I have kind of a sentimental people with people who have suffered from different things. I wasn't like a crazy alcoholic or not, but it was a distraction.
Sure.
It was a distraction for helping me elevate.
Wow. That's I know that it can be tough to overcome an alcohol addiction, as with any addiction. So congratulations on that. That's a huge accomplishment. All right, Cory, last question here. What is something that you wish you had known earlier in life that would have helped you at this stage or beyond?
Definitely going to hit on the credit. If I would have known how the importance and magnitude of credit, maintaining credit. I was a homeowner at 23 years old, but I still didn't know how to move money. Buying stuff, and it's not equivalent to knowing how to understand money, where to hide money, where to go with money. I didn't learn that stuff until recent years.
I did not pay him to say that, guys. Anyway, just want to let you know. I know I'm Kevin the Credit Crusher, but I did not.
Keep it G over here in Willingboro, brother. You know, we got. I'm keeping it 100. I'm telling you, you know, I ain't sugarcoating. I don't like to paint a picture of anything, but that is real. We got to get this credit. We got to understand life insurance. We got to understand these things.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm going to ask you a bonus question. I know we just came off of Black History Month, but I think Black History Life is what we should celebrate. We shouldn't just celebrate a month worth of Black history. We should celebrate Black history always, because we have made a huge impact in this country and abroad. And so give us a Black person who has had a great impact or great influence in your life.
Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, Prophet Elijah Muhammad.
Elijah Muhammad, we can have we cannot talk about the economic piece that this man did in that time, in which he had an $80 million empire and $80 million revenue. And if we were to correlate that into this times, it's probably about $500,000. But they're bringing in resources they're doing for self. They're totally independent outside of not only other Black America, but really the States. When you have connections and fish and your own laundry, they were a great example for do for self.
It's a shame, and we don't want to get too political, but it's really a shame that a lot of us could not see the value, even if we were different, right? In our religious beliefs and our political beliefs, even if we were different, people who can see the value in other people's stances, even if they don't share the same philosophies, are really valuable, right? I recognize how really incredibly rich the Muslim community was and is, right? And how valuable it is to the Black community. And we should pay more attention to that. Yeah, Elijah Muhammad is a great person to have an influence. Cory, you have been an absolute joy, a gem to know. Thank you for building with me. Thank you for continuing to allow me to be a part of this wonderful thing that you're building in the melanin market. I want you to tell our viewers how they can find you and or the melanin market and Chakra Soups and Supreme Desserts. Tell them how they can connect with you.
Yes, you could definitely connect with the Melanin Market at themelaninmarket.com. We will have another event May 7th. Any updates, please go into our website. You'll see the information. You'll see pictures from past and previous. Chakra Soups, Facebook, Instagram, Chakra Soups. And Supreme Sweets is still yet to come. And I want to thank Kevin. I want to thank Nykeia for having me. May God continue to bless you guys of doing the hard work of preparing our people credit and getting our money right.
Absolutely, Cory. Thank you so much. Again, that is the Melanin Market, themelaninmarket.com. You can go to Chakra Soups, that's SHOKRA Soups on the Instagram and Facebook platforms. And then Supreme Desserts is still to come. Cory, we are going to have you back again. The Melanin Market, the next event is going to be same place. It's what's that?
It'll be May 7th, a different location. That's to be announced.
Okay, to be announced. Please, Cory, as soon as you can get me the flyer for that event, certainly going to participate. Going to definitely come out. Give me that flyer. I've got a bunch of people who weren't there on Saturday that I intend to bring over, and we'll be in touch. For me, Kevin the Credit Crusher, this is the Biz Breaks Podcast, where we have real talk with real entrepreneurs here on the Cosmos Radio Network USA. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms. If you want to follow me, all the social media platforms, the name is Premisien. Our website is Premisien. Again, it's spelled Premisien. You can follow Cosmos Radio Network USA on all of its platforms. That's the Cosmos Radio Network USA. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram with that name. Thank you for our partners, Showtime, Hypeman, DJ Shaun out in London, all of our partners in Brazil. We truly appreciate the opportunity to be before you. We will see you guys again every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Biz Breaks Podcast on the Cosmos Radio Network USA platform. Please go on all our social media channels, like, follow, subscribe, and share. Once again, like, follow, subscribe, and share. And until next time, let's have some real talk.
The force is about to hit this city.
From the dark side of the moon, This is the Cosmos Radio Network.